You are watching UCU Focus TV.
Good evening, dear viewer. Welcome to this week's segment of the Media Link News. I'm Elna Gresabonyo Onen, and this is the news. From 24th February, it's been 100 days since the Guild government, It's been 100 days since the Guild government took charge of power. Our reporter, Marina Mbabazi, has come to assess its achievements and performance.
It has been 100 days since the 25th Guild government assumed power.
And that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Guild constitution. So help me God.
The link between the students' body and the university administration is headed by the president, Timothy Dumba. He is assisted by different members like the vice, prime minister, members of parliament for the different faculties, to mention but a few. We spoke to Christy Asimwe, the minister in charge of presidency, to give us a little insight on the Guild government.
Well, the Guild government is basically the body of student leaders who not only connect the student body, the larger student body, to the school administration, but also ensure that the students have a wonderful stay and have fun and have engaging activities, not just for fun, of course, but also to develop them as students while they are on campus. Yeah.
In its brief time in power, the Guild government has had some significant achievements which the student body stands to bear witness.
One of the others that we've had as well is bringing the Guild government closer to the students. And we've done that through the Open Guild Days, through which the students are able to interact with their Guild officials, with their Guild leaders. And that's, I think, one of the most important things. Another is the Fuel program. Fuel is first undergraduate experience in leadership, and that is still running, but it is really to develop the students as leaders.
Nina Muiza credits them for enabling others to sit papers in spite of tuition deficiencies.
The last semester, students were able to sit for exams without necessarily completing the tuition, so that was really, really nice.
Yeah, according to what I have so far seen ever since the elections, I think he has done something good. He put in place the interfaculty competitions, which I believe were a success through different faculties, which created even more relationships, because I see most of us, since I'm in the business faculty, we never used to over-relate with all these other faculties, but through that interfaculty competition, we got to know more people, we got friends and all that.
Despite these successes, however, it has not been smooth sailing for this governing body.
One of the challenges that we faced was the fact that we started working without a budget, without an official budget. That was a bit difficult, but of course we're able to work around it. With that, of course, we had to put in our own finances at the start, but it did come through, and we're able to get it and work with it eventually.
The electorate has also felt a certain sense of discontentment towards the Guild government.
There's only one thing that I always say, also like his presence needed. Sometimes he's not around campus, sometimes he's off. So when you're president, you need to be around the office. You need to be in office. When you're off, sometimes it's bad. That's the only good thing.
I felt both positive and negative impacts. The negative impact that I felt the same is there's not been much that has changed, especially with the people who study and come from Ankara. Yeah.
Amongst the pointers of the President's manifesto include sorting the tuition payment, where the long lines have for long become an aching cancer for the students.
According to my perspective, I think the Guild government has failed to help us in the account section, because you can go there and you want services and the people supposed to help you are not there.
The minister in charge of presidency assured the students that the manifesto will be realized and went on to encourage the electorate to take part in guild activities.
As student leaders, it's our responsibility to ensure that to the best of our ability, we keep the students safe. But of course, there are certain things that are out of our own hands. There's a lot of opportunity for us as students, not just as student leaders, but as students, to develop, to grow. There's so many resources within us that we can put to use, that we can use to develop ourselves, to develop our intellectual capacity, to develop ourselves even financially. There's so many things that the guild has, that the university has, that the sports department has, that, so many different things that we can bring together to encourage one another, to develop one another.
100 days and counting after the guild president was sworn in, students still have mixed reactions about the performance of the executive. However, the guild continues to ride on the theme of redefining impact for the community. Marina Mbawazi, Noaine Dismas, reporting for Media Link News.
Student director Brian Kabogoza's short film My Background was recognized beyond Ugandan borders and was nominated for the SWIFT Awards. He has now
The cast and crew of the movie My Background continue to count their blessings. This comes after a Student World Impact Film Festival nomination.
Last week, we received amazing news that 2 of our films were selected in SWIFT.
My Background reveals the origins of Alexa, who is the main character in the movie's first sequel, My Degree.
Alexa, what I could tell you is to come back home and we discuss about that.
But David.
Based in the United States of America, the Student World Impact Film Festival takes place to recognize students' initiatives in filmmaking all over the world.
And I'm really excited to announce that our movie got an international recognition award from the SWIFT. Guys, I am so happy. I don't even know where to start from. When I got the news, I was at home, and the first person I texted was my mom, because she's like been my greatest support system.
Brian Kabogoza, the director, recognized this as a win for the film industry countrywide and credited the cast and crew for their role in this development.
And I want to congratulate the cast and crew of My Background. My Background had one of the best cinematography, so congratulations to my cinematographer and DOP, that is Richard Sochitoleko, Alvin Masagazi, Emmanuel Ilungole, all the cast and crew that was on the team of My Background.
Yeah, Mami, now Chimani, it's one of the best schools in Uganda.
Charlotte Nalule, reporting for Media Link News.
The Launchpad members work hand in hand with the Para Counseling Association to pad young girls in Buyekwe district and aid them with menstrual hygiene management. Here is James Charity following the story.
Abura Emmanuel, student of social work at Uganda Christian University, came up with a campaign, Pad a Girl, where they will be targeting to distribute 1,000 pads to school-going girls on 16th July in Buyikwe district. Poor menstruation affects many girls globally, especially those from rural areas.
And here we are under the Para Counselors Association. We're trying to run this project so that we can at least extend our hands of help to those girls who can't provide the pads to themselves, those girls who are in needy. Soap basically goes with the pads because we are making reusable pads, whereby it will also be to maintain the menstrual hygiene of those people who are going to use the reusable pads. So we are also accepting soap. Other items we're also accepting, because when we approach the schools, we had those schools where they had those students who are facing with disabilities, they are there, and we also need to provide something to themselves. At the moment, we have collected some things. We have collected soap, people are collecting toilet paper, shoes, clothing. Yeah, that can really help.
The challenges associated with effective menstrual hygiene management include lack of clean water and soap, inadequate absorbent, and taboos which potentially affects the ability of young girls to thrive. Charity Wamimi shares her experience.
We're going out to give all the pads to those vulnerable children. Yeah, speaking on behalf of a girl, I know how stigmatizing it is to go in your birthdays without a pad. I know how it can really put you low, but I'm really happy about this initiative. And I know the young girls down there, deep in the villages, will really put a smile finally on their faces.
This campaign is in partnership with Uganda Christian University Para-Counselors Association, who are thriving to embrace an eco-environment for both boys and girls.
This is our first time to do this project, and we are looking at Bwikwe district. But then we shall continue with this project we shall have to make a year program that each and every year at least we have to support girls in rural areas. We're looking at empowering the girls. We need to support them so that they can have an eco-environment with each and every girl or each and every person.
Some of the students like Jotham Okello are too excited to reach out and help young girls in these rural areas.
This will be really my first experience, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how we are really going to support them. You know how these young girls are suffering in those village schools, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how best we can support them and encourage them through giving them these pads, giving them this soap, and also helping this disabled and so forth, because we have very many things that we have collected, clothes, shoes, you know. So these things will encourage them, and really calling upon each and everyone to support us in any way, because you're not just supporting us, but we are all giving glory also to God.
Charity James reporting for Media Link News.
A new restaurant has been opened in order to cater for the students' nutrition and variety. Martha Alupo and Marina Mbabazi visited it, and they come back with this report.
Amidst the limited food options in Uganda Christian University, the students reporting for the Trinity semester were excited for the opening of the new restaurant. Ebenezer Restaurant is located in between Joy Canteen and Touch of Class Restaurant. It opened 1 week into the semester. Despite wanting change to excite their taste buds, some students were a little worried about the prices since the make of the restaurant suggests that it's too priced. Krishana Ampere, a student, tells us that it's not the case.
So far, it's been a good experience. I think I give it to their customer care. It's really exceptional. They handle you like your prized possession. I think that's something that I really love. I feel welcome here. The food is also really, really nice. I really love the salad. That's my favorite thing here. I always look forward to having salad and all the complimentary fruits and desserts as well.
Pastor Stephen Semusu had glowing reviews for this new establishment.
I came here to have some lunch. The good thing I found a buffet being served here. First of all, it was so delicious. It was so delicious and it was so good. I really commend their reception because the way I was received, it was really so powerful. The way it was handled, the way even they handled my phone into taking it to the charging, really it was so good and it was so perfect.
People were telling the truth, which is shocking because the reviews were too positive. So we had to try it for ourselves, and I can assess that no lies were told.
Regardless of how promising this new restaurant seems, it has big shoes to fill. The students of UCU are hard to please when it comes to their food. We spoke to the manager who expounded on the restaurant and his experience so far as the recent service provider on the scene.
So far, this is the second week since Ebenezer Restaurant was opened, and it's quite promising, and we are getting a lot of good things from our guests and our neighbors. Since we have got so many competitors, we are getting, so far we are doing well. One of them is our structure. I think it is appealing to our guests, very appetizing, and the ambience and the interior, and also our food. We are relatively very cheaper. So far we have got so many positive reaction over this. Some people think that since the place is nice, we are high, but we are normal. Our prices are normal, and that makes us competing with our friends here around. Our menu is designed in such a way that there's allowance to change. We are going to introduce many items in our menu. For example, today we are giving back to our customers. You come have a glass of juice in the house, and the food, you pay for the food. And we are going to make many more changes in our menu. We are going to introduce, mostly our menu is going to have boiled food. We want to cater for There are those who don't eat oils, they like boiled food. We are going to have things like molokoni once in a while, and then so that the community really feel Ebenezer is existing. We have got a variety of challenges, but one of them is the design, and when it rains, we get some bit of challenge, but that will be worked on. That will be worked on. And then the challenges, competition. We are still young and we have got so many giants around us. So that's also one of the challenges. The other one is that the students within the UCU think that we are expensive. They peep and think that when they go there, our prices are normal.
With this satisfactory first-hand experience and feedback from different people in the university, let's hope that Ebenezer Restaurant is able to maintain the standard that it has set. Martha Alupo and Marina Mbabazi reporting for UCU Media Link News.
The MUKASA library at Uganda Christian University had key factors that brought it to life. Here is a story from Pamela Nawiri.
MUKASA Library has existed for about 12 years, one of the buildings that holds up the university's excellence. Blake Tamale tells us more about it.
MUKASA Library got its name from an elder called MUKASA. If all of you know him, he's a very famous man, and he owned the land on which UCU is seated. So in order to recognize his efforts and everything that he did for this institution, we decided to name our premier library by his name. That is how he used to look when he was in his youth, I think, maybe around the 40s.
The library consists of different units for reading and discussions and acquiring reading material.
MUKASA. So this is MUKASA Library. The library was constructed in 2010, beginning March 2010. By around the Feb of 2011, the library was completed and we occupied it in March 2011. So far the library has been in around 11 years.
The library consists of different units for reading and discussions and acquiring reading material. Education for students wouldn't have been made easier if it wasn't for the existence of MUKASA Library. A few of the students give their experiences about the library.
I find that the library is very convenient. Basically, first, it's spacious. It has a lot of space. It establishes different levels. There's one for reading, one for discussions, one for self-reading, like alone, when you want to be alone. The different books, like it's extensive. And the books, like for law, they are very accessible. They have really helped us a lot. The only disadvantage it has, they give us a limited time, like to get the books.
The first floor can be convenient for personal reading. The second floor is well set even for group discussions. And the third floor, where basically law students and engineering students read from, is equally convenient for personal reading.
MUKASA Library was a project that was started in March 2010 and completed in February 2011. As you can see behind, MUKASA Library was opened on the 28th of October 2011. The name derived from a benefactor, MUKASA, who donated land for the construction of the building. The building has been up for over 12 years with different donors that contributed about 10 billion shillings for the construction of the building. Pamela Nabure, Christine Mugalu, Media Link News.
Thank you for tuning in. My name is Elna Gresabonyo Onen, Media Link News. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to other platforms. Follow us on our Twitter handle and Instagram as UCU Focus TV. Have a good night.